Greetings, fellow masters. It is I, the bell tolls. I know you're probably all prepping for Solomon, and if you are, I highly recommend checking out Tohou Sniper's videos on them, links in the description. But I figured I'd put out another farming video on the slim chance that you aren't. Our target today? Deadly poisonous needles, or as I like to call them, stingers. Not many servants use them, but some highlights include Semiramis, and of course, my boy King Hassan. Since they're a bronze mat, you'll need plenty of them, so let's start this farm train. Even in JP, the best place for stingers is going to be Field of Reeds in Babylonia. It's a 3-wave map with 3 sets of 3 enemies. Let's go over them now. Luckily, Field of Reeds is a single class node. It's all Lancers, so we're going to need some big AoE sabers to clear it out. The first wave is 3 Mashushus with 28.7k health. The second is another 3 Mashushus with 37.8k health. And the last wave is, you guessed it, another 3 Mashushus. The first has 122,000 health, and the other 2 have 86,000. It's important to note that all these enemies have the dragon trait, which will come into play later on. Now that we know the enemy, how do we fight them most effectively? Starting out as our F2P comp, and I use the term F2P pretty liberally here. Without decent CEs and servants, this one will probably take you a while, so if we don't have any K-Scopes, Artoria, Mordred, or other AoE sabers, your best bet is to take our friend support and brute force the first 2 waves down. That said, here's what I've come up with for an F2P comp. For the first wave we have Spartacus. He has a rare Berserker self-charge which will help him get to 100%. Unfortunately, he's not likely to survive the first wave unless you have a K-Scope. Even a regular K-Scope is fine. Even more unfortunate though is that he's not going to clear the first wave. He just doesn't do enough damage to take out the Mashushus, so you need the face card to clean up the rest of the wave. Luckily, this gives you time to gain NP for our second servant. If you can, your primary choice here will be Saber Lily, and no, I've never said that before in my life. The fact is, as an event servant, she's a free NP5 and will absolutely destroy wave 2 given she can fire off her Noble Phantasm. Give her some sort of NP charge CE, get some arts cards in, and top her off with your Mystic Code. K-Scope is ideal, Imaginary Element is your next best, and Dragon's Meridian is a worst case scenario. In the event you don't have Saber Lily, Fergus is a fair alternative. He's a 3-star servant, so he's more attainable than a 4 or 5-star. You'll need him at NP5 to reliably kill wave 2, and he'll need an NP damage buff CE like Holy Night Supper, Halloween Princess, or Golden Sumo. If he doesn't kill them, they'll be easily face cardable, so he's not a bad option. For wave 3, this is where you'll unfortunately need to rely on a friend support. Since the enemies on this wave have such a high health pool, you need a high NP level AoE saber. Preferably they'll have a K-Scope too. Mordred can get by with a regular scope, but anyone else will need a limit broken one for the instant NP. Otherwise you'll be stuck having to get them charged somehow. My preferred choice would be Artoria or Mordred as they have great damage buffs. The Mystic Code choice here is obviously Mage's Association, as you're going to be hurting for NP charge no matter what. Unfortunately, we wind up with another farming comp that's not so F2P friendly, relying on a powerful friend servant to carry you through the last wave. That's the nature of efficient farming though. You need a decent servant pool and at the very least a good selection of craft essences at your disposal. Moving on to the mid-core comp, this is where things start to get interesting. Here it is. Regrettably, I had to just map this one out because I don't actually have Gawain. If you do though, this should be cool. So first of all, Field of Reeds has a special attribute being a sunlight map. This means with Gawain's first skill, even at level 1, he gains a 20% buster buff on top of the 20% attack he gets. At MP1, Gawain will either one-shot this wave or leave it close to dead. Gawain also has a flat 20% MP charge, so with a K-Scope or Arch Chain, you'll be able to get him to 100% pretty fast. Slap whatever charge CE you have on him and let him clean house. For wave 2, I'm bringing in Saber Lily again. Same deal as the F2P comp. If you happen to have Mordred though, you could swap her in instead. It'll make getting an NP off that much easier, especially if your Mordred has a higher skill level. At level 10, it's 30% charge, so keep that in mind. With Waver, you won't need to Arts card to get her missing NP. Both Mordred and Saber Lily can clean up wave 2 pretty handily, so just give whatever you chose an NP charge CE and let's move right along. Remember how I mentioned earlier that these enemies count as dragons? This is where our boy Siegfried comes in. As long as he's done his strengthening quest, even at NP1 he'll one-shot the last 2 dragons and bring the first one to about 20k health. Higher NP levels just close the distance that much more. I would say there's few better servants than Siegfried for destroying the final wave of this node. His damage is just incredible here. For this example, I have him equipped with a regular K-Scope as waver buffs will naturally bring him to 100%. The Mystic Code here will be Plug Suit. After Gawain fires his NP, you want to swap him for Waver and then buff up, giving the 30% charge to Saber Lily. Once you've done that, just fire off your NPs and take down the rest of the node. Lastly, our whale comp. This is what I personally use, but ideally you want 3 K-scopes, hopefully limit broken, to make this run as smooth as possible. I've got Mordred for wave 1, Saber Lily for wave 2, and Siegfried for wave 3. By this point you probably understand these choices. My Mordred isn't max bonded and only NP1, so she's suitable for the first wave. On wave 2 I use the Mysticode to bring Saber Lily to 100%, then on wave 3 I have an MLB K-scope Siegfried clean it up. It's a consistent 3-turn composition and what I'd personally recommend. Of course, if you have MLB K-scopes, Mage Association and Mordred aren't required. You could replace Mordred with a different AoE Saber or Berserker. If you have a higher ranked Saber with more attack, that could replace Saber Lily. Just work around what you have max bonded and what CEs you can equip. You're a whale, you should have plenty. So there we have it, a quick and honestly pretty dirty guide to farming Field of Reeds. The enemies here are a bit tough if you aren't prepared, but with the right servants and CEs you'll be breezing through it in no time. At the very least, it gives Siegfried a reason to come out and get some exercise. Poor guy. His legs must be numb from sitting in your inventory for so long. Let me know if this guide helped you at all or give you some ideas on how to clear Field of Reeds more effectively. I know there are some hot ticket servants coming up that are going to need these mats, so it's good to be prepared. As always, thank you for watching. Farewell for now, fellow masters. May your farming be bountiful, and may the bell never toll for you. Until next time.